My story, my beginnings in Catholic education are Holy Spirit driven. I was a college student. I happened to met a Catholic school principal. I had interest in teaching, but not a lot. He gave me an opportunity in his school, and very, very quickly, within 2.5 years, I was a full-time teacher. My experience in college when it came to getting my degree and my student teaching was only in public school. I walked into a Catholic school and I haven't left. I have now been teaching and an administrator in the Catholic school system for 34 years. I started out as a middle school math teacher. I became an assistant principal. I also became an assistant principal of a high school for a couple of years. I spent 7 years in the superintendent of schools office, working with wonderful educators, and what I like to call my administrator's boot camp, because I would sit and listen to some very experienced, well thought of professional educators, keep my ears open and my mouth shut, and I learned everything I know about being a principal from those roundtable discussions. The history of the school. It's been here for over 110 years. So this has been the school for not just 3 or 4 generations, but 10, 12 generations of families. It's physically imposing, but it's been here so long, it's part of the Riverdale community. And that's what Catholic schools have always been, and I would love to see that continue on. This is where the center of the parish, of parish life. Your bazaars, your carnivals, your weddings, your communions, your funerals, your confirmations. This is where it took place. I do have concerns that maybe that's kind of moving away now as families get further and further away geographically, but also spiritually. And I think it's important that Catholic schools maintain those traditions and those things that solidify us, that ground us. This was the bedrock and can still be the bedrock if we are allowed to do what Catholic schools have always done best, which is the 4 R's.
I felt like in doing the research, Catholic schools provided a quality education that was also affordable. I think there are a lot of great schools, private schools, some of the top in this country, right here in the New York City area, especially literally within this 5-mile radius. When I think about some of the schools like a Horace Mann or Fieldston or Riverdale Country, they literally are right in my area. But I come from a long line of educators who warned me before when others were like, you should apply, you need to, your child needs to be here. It's, well, what type of child do you have? Is she creative? Is she into acting, theater, math, science? I came to this school and I spoke to Mr. Keenan, and it just instantly felt like the right place. He is by far one of the most energetic, involved principals that I've known, and just in my own experience as a student. You could tell that he really cares. Every question he answered, if he didn't know the answer, he said, I'll get back to you on that. He did that night via email. So it just felt like the right fit.
My dad went here as a kid, and they're always telling me that Catholic schools have a very good education, and Catholic school has taught me a lot of things. The longer you're here, you grow a more serious and a more complex relationship with God and Jesus. I'm older now. I understand more, and because I've been here for a long time, I have a stronger relationship with God.
I have 4 children. 2 are in high school now, but I have 2 currently here, a 7th grade daughter and a 3rd grade son. So we're new to the merger, but we were part of St. Gabe's for 14 years. My experience in Catholic school was wonderful. I really enjoyed, some of my closest friends right now, are from this school. I have a group of 4 friends that were classmates, and we are still in contact. And I credit just Catholic school fostering a sense of community and relationships, and it just has carried me through till today.
I've been going to the school for about 6 to 7 years, since kindergarten, really. I really enjoy this school because I've been here for a while, I know what to do, and all my teachers have been very lovely and nice about work and all that, yeah. I like to think about my friends and my teachers the most when I go to school because they're my friends, teachers, authorities, and all that. And they're all just like friends to me. And it's great to know them, and it's great to have them for this long. Mostly, I met my friends in 3rd grade and kindergarten. That's usually when I met my friends.
I was going to school at St. Gabriel since pre-K 3. The teachers are the same. I have some of my same friends, and the education is pretty similar, especially in religion.
I think, my parents instilled sort of that seed of faith in me. And then having gone to Catholic school, it nurtured and it fostered that sense of faith. And it just grew with me. I also went to Catholic high school and college. And just having that faith in you, it carries through, certainly through adulthood. And when you go through good times, you can celebrate that faith. And when you go and, experience bad times, you turn to your faith. And it's such an important part of my life that when my husband and I, who's also a product of Catholic schools, wanted to send our children to Catholic schools, we wanted them to have exactly what we had, just that constant nurturing of faith. It takes time and prayer, and Catholic school, you're just surrounded by all of those opportunities to pray and learn from others that also have the same faith, and teachers, etc.
I love going to church and my grandma says, when you walk into church, that's God's house. And then when I go into church, I love going there to just pray and just think about what Jesus did during his time when he was in Jerusalem, and then think about what he did, what he suffered through, what he preached, who he healed, how he healed, and it's fun to learn about that. So I like going to church, and I love having a connection with Jesus. When God put us on this earth, there was a reason that he had saved us, that he had died for us, and there's a reason that he loves us so much, and he tries to help us become better people and better friends.
My whole life, it's been based off these values of how, you're supposed to live life and these morals, and it really shows that, when you apply it to different things. I play a lot of sports, so, when I play sports, I treat my teammates with respect, and I just know to already do that instead of just having to learn that.
Another big reason why I chose Catholic schools is because of my faith. I'm not Catholic. I grew up Baptist, but when you start as a foundation of praying in school, of the principles of being kind, of listening to people, of conflict resolution, I think it goes a long way, So that idea that we can see each other as brothers and sisters, the idea that we're equal, those are principles that really the foundation of it is, you see that in Catholic schools.
Jesus, I know he's always present in my life, and I feel connected to him, and I feel like he helps me think about a decision before I make it.
I know that Jesus and God always has my back, so I know I'll be forgiven. It's just good to have, I know I'll be forgiven. I have help behind me, so it's a good thing it's a good peace of mind in my opinion.
I picture Jesus as sort of in the corner of the interview, and saying, "You got this, Annabeth. You can do this."
One of the many charisms that we try to foster with the students is this call to service. We're very adamant with our students that their study of the faith, their practice of the faith is not just God loves me, I love God, and I'm going to pray. They have to do something. The corporal works of mercy are rather important and just as important as the spiritual. So go out and do something, help somebody. So we have a large contingent of altar servers, but we do things in the school that fosters that community and that service at the same time.
Besides all of the mandatory extra or special classes, they have a lot of extracurricular activities. Like I'm in choir, I'm in painting club, and I feel like I can kind of like express myself because I love to sing, I love to do art, so it kind of gives me like a fun time.
I do community service sometimes actually all the time, every Tuesday at around 7 o'clock. And I help out with the young ones, bringing them downstairs into the cafeteria because they can't walk on their own. But yeah, I've had a great time with that. And my friends are there too, which I talk with them a lot about classes and how things have been going.
Something that school has like taught me is that I do love like volunteering because I volunteer to help the pre-Kers early in the morning. It makes me feel like happy and it makes me feel good, like I did something to make other people happy, and I feel like I would definitely volunteer more as an adult.
I would think the teachers and their classmates would probably be the best part in the school and their principal because they are very funny and they're nice and they make you learn and you have a fun time with them because sometimes you have a break with them, and if you want to chat about something, they won't deny you. They'll just say yes, and you'll talk and you'll say, oh, I have trouble with this subject. Oh, okay, I'll just teach you the fundamentals.
The teachers kind of push you to a limit. Like they're not like too hard, but they push you to a limit where you can be your best self.
I think even in, the other subjects, let's say as, when your kids are in class, there is just sort of the religion kind of creeps in and said, hey, you're studying, have faith that you're going to get through this rough period of midterms, like the middle schoolers are taking midterms this week. That's just what I love about everything, even though it's, math is math and science is science, but there is a sense of just, have faith in yourself, have faith in God that, just to do your very best, and that's all you can do.
I think lots of people should have a Catholic education. Like, even maybe when I have kids, I'll put them in a Catholic school. Like, it's important that you keep the education going. But the values and the morals, you can't get that anywhere else. I would say you kind of not need to, but it's very important that at least you look at a Catholic school, because it's those values and morals will keep with you for life.
You have to do your research, and I think if you're blessed enough to find a place like this school where you feel the love, you see the excitement from starting with the principal down to the teachers, even in situations where in this particular case they absorbed another school and there was a lot of uncertainty about what that would look like. But in the end, I think it's all in the attitude, and I think clearly the attitude of the staff here, starting again with Principal Keenan, is one of we're going to succeed and we're going to help you succeed. So that's why I chose this particular school.
Catholic school is it's really fun, and it's easy to make friends because everybody is really welcoming, and the experiences here are really great.